All right. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. My name is Aya. Thank you for joining me on my channel, A Very Good Life. Today we're going to be discussing Pluto in the 11th house. These aspects aren't easy to talk about because of the way I talk about them. I tell the truth. When you look it up online or in a book, they're going to say emotional, intense friendships. You might want to change society in some way. Why do you want to change society? What will make somebody waste, not waste, what will make someone feel so intense about something that they will want to change society? That's the questions that need to be answered. It's not that you want to change society. You experience something that makes you feel like this shit can't fucking be. Now you experienced it on a personal level. Now this is something something that a lot of people have experienced that maybe people don't freaking talk about because it's shameful. It's in the shadows. I'm talking about Pluto aspects here. It's it's intense. It's embarrassing. And if you spoke, there's consequences sometimes to telling the truth. Especially in a society where everyone wants to pretend like they're sanguine, meaning they want to pretend like they're happy. Nobody wants to be the melancholy personality type. Everybody wants to be the the Joker girl. And so you might feel like you want to be the Joker with this aspect because of shit that you've seen. And, or maybe that's the shit that you've seen done to other people. So Aquarius energy, okay, so let me back it up. 11th house, ruled by Aquarius and Uranus. Pluto, Scorpio, and the 8th house is ruled by Pluto. Okay, so you could have a combination. You could have Uranus conjunct Pluto. You could have Aquarius. Or you can have Pluto and Aquarius somewhere in your chart. You could have Uranus in Scorpio. And so keep that in mind if you are reading this, listening to this. I don't want to talk about these things. Somebody's got to do it. Apparently, it's me. So, from my own case studies and working with people in their charts, when I find someone that has any combination of these aspects, there's secrets a lot of times in the family of strange relationships. That can be relationships between, like, incestual relationships. It could be relationships between clergy and children. I don't want to talk about this shit. Doesn't make But these things happen in society. And there has to be somebody to fight and stand up for the voiceless and powerless so that these things don't happen anymore. That would be you. You feel like you want to make some changes here. Somebody has to say something. And it'll take you some time in your life to get the courage to actually do something about it. You might want to make changes in areas that are unconventional. Like I was talking to this one lady that she was getting impressions in past life that her family was slave masters. She was a white lady. And she wanted to do something about it. And she has this aspect, a combination of this aspect. Is she going to get ridiculed for stepping in at this time in society for helping out? Like, the way she wanted to help out was making a tour in the South someplace, and where people could trace back the and deal with this shit, you know. And she's a white woman. You know she's going to get ridiculed for it. Her individuality, her identity is going to come up for examination. You're white. Get out of our shit. We don't want y'all in. But she feels called to do it. Should she not do it? Or is she just going to have to stand up for what she believes in? This aspect is very much so that. It's like, should you not stand up for what you believe in? So this combination, I'm saying these things because it's not one size fits all. It's not just one area of life. It's our collective history and consciousness and how we get along or have not been getting along well as human beings. And you feel the need to rectify it in some way because for you already feel like an outcast, and you feel like an outcast because of maybe something that you don't even know, because Pluto can be pretty damn secretive. You might feel like. So when I'm reading people's charts with this aspect, I ask questions because of things that I see going on in the chart. I'm very like I'm an oracle as well. So when I read people's charts, their life, it comes to life for me. Like I can see like the people, what's going on, what they're saying, how they're acting, the actors on the stage of life. I can see it. Okay? And so this aspect is very intense. It makes me want to cry for the people who are walking around with a burden on their shoulders in society, who feel like they want to do something about this, but they don't know what to do. And that's a lot of times where you start off. Like, you see something, you see things, you don't know why it's affecting you the way it is. You might not know maybe what has happened to you, what has happened to your family, or what your family has been involved in. You know, you could be involved in crime. Your family could have been involved in crime. Because Aquarius also is the sign of like military or the police and stuff like that. So with Pluto here, your family could have been in cahoots the with the military, or against, or there could be people serving time in jail for things done on a large scale. Um, and so that will make you want to get involved in prison reform. All of these things are very big tasks to take on in society, and you won't be able to do it alone. You would need like-minded people. In order to find like-minded people, you have to run your mouth and talk about what it is that you're struggling with. Like, there's some of my favorite groups on, say, like Facebook. That's very Aquarius. It's using technology. That's very Uranus. Using technology and social platforms to bring people together, to deal with things that are tearing down society. And so some of my favorite groups are the survivors of narcissistic abuse. Um, where's my Uranus in my chart? My Uranus is in the third house in Scorpio. And so I have this aspect. You see how I'm running my mouth? Using my voice? But mine more will be when I finish my books. It'll be more in storytelling because it's third house. Okay? You guys would be more like social reform and protesting and stuff like that. But yeah, one of my favorite groups, the survivors of narcissistic abuse online, or the survivors, or surviving PTSD. Like, I love those groups. And I remember when they first got started, it started off as one person. So you might feel discouraged because you might feel like you're the only one. But now those groups have thousands of people. And also, one of my favorite groups that I see on Instagram that I asked to support and be a part of is Women for Prison Reform, which is kind of what I was just talking about. Started off small. Now is a blazing group, powerful group of women. And asked if when they got together, if I could offer free Reiki healing, if I could like lend my hand in any way to offer my support for these people. So there's all types of ways to involve yourself in social change. I feel like when it comes to social change, social injustices, you can only give of the talents that you have. Me and some of my white clients have these conversations because they come to me red in the face, crying, not knowing what they can do. They feel attacked, watching the media and the news all freaking day, talking about racism, and they feel like it's their fault, their ancestors, and they want to know and understand how they can support black women, how they can support black people in general. They feel like they're not doing enough, and I'm just kind of like, okay, I don't know what to say. That's a big task. And so I'm like, well, you can start off by when you walk down the street, darling, and you see a black person, just say hello, good morning. That's an act of protest. Treating black people like they're humans, okay? Like they're just like you. In some ways we're not the same. It's okay. But in a lot of ways, since I talk to so many different types of people, everybody wants love, money. Everybody has issues with their daddy and their mama, okay? Everybody. It don't matter what color you are. Everybody wants a reading so they can stalk their lover. I call it psychically stalking, which I don't like doing. I tell people, I'm doing this, I will do this once for you because I love you. But we're not going to sit here for 3 months every other day asking about this dude or this lady. Let them go. Okay? We're moving on, aren't we? Yes. Anyway, and so also I tell them, what are your gifts? What are your talents? You know, you can't be something you're not. See, I'm not a frontline protester because I'm a conspiracy theorist, and I don't believe in a lot of things that I see on TV is true or real. I don't know the whole story. I don't even know if those are actors. I don't know. And I do feel like the deaths could be real because the powers that be don't mind sacrificing the hell out of people, you know, in order to get invoke an emotional reaction. I don't like to be reactionary. I like to respond. You know, I like to lend a hand, a healing hand, in a way that is actually helpful. You know, and I'm not saying protesting and stuff isn't helpful, but at the same time, I feel like a lot of people just react and not respond. Sometimes you can't let your right hand know what your left hand is doing. It makes it too easy for you to be attacked, and then the whole thing that you're trying to do would be in vain if you're not smart. I believe in being smart and our tactics when it comes to how we approach rebuilding society. Like when those people took over the police station, I think in someplace in Oregon, I don't quite know. What was their plan next? What were they going to do next after you took over the police precinct? Then what? So now when all the 911 calls come in, you guys are going to go? You see what I'm saying? It's just kind of like, okay, that was cute and they got attention. But now what? Did you have a plan? Do you have something written out for long term? That's just me. I could be wrong. I could be crazy. Call me crazy. I've been called worse by better. All right. So this is why I'm also we're going to have a discussion live September 10th on my YouTube channel with maybe a couple of other girls they keep telling me their internet's down and whatever. And so I made a flyer with all three of us, and then I just made a flyer by myself, child. And I put the flyer with all three of us at the bottom of the Eventbrite um, um, event, because I don't know if they're going to show up, but I would like them to. It's called Spiritual Appropriation. You guys know my video that I made about me having Native American cards made by a white woman, and the cognitive dissonance that I experienced inside of myself, and my brother calling me out on it, because of my belief that the spirit world doesn't see color. But the problem is that we'll talk about the problem. We'll talk about the problem September 10th. I will post it in my community tab. I pray that you guys have an amazing day wherever you're at in the world. Get a lot of rest after you finish watching this video. I'm sure you need to take a break from all media, your phone, and just take some time for you and spend time in nature. Peace.